Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a situation on our hands that has literally stunned the entire NFL community. Over the weekend, right as the Kansas City Chiefs were kicking off their 2026 training camp, some absolutely devastating breaking news came out regarding the family of offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. So today, we're going to start by addressing the heavy reality of the situation off the field, and then we'll transition into how the team is moving forward with their training camp prep on the field. Here's the roadmap for today's Explainer. Number 1, the Ashburn shooting incident. 2, arrest and team response. 3, Mahomes and injury updates. And finally, number 4, training camp standouts. Section 1, the Ashburn shooting incident. Tragedy strikes home. We're looking at the deeply somber news surrounding Mia Bieniemy, the 57-year-old wife of Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Over the weekend, awful reports broke that she was hospitalized with serious injuries after a shooting at their family home. Sticking strictly to the releases from the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, here's exactly how Sunday evening unfolded in Ashburn, Virginia. Right around 7:30 p.m., deputies arrived at the Bieniemy residence responding to reports of a shooting. They found Mia suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, and she was immediately rushed to a local hospital. By 8 p.m., the whole local area was locked down with a massive law enforcement presence. And then, at 2:41 a.m. on Monday morning, the couple's 27-year-old son, Elijah Zion Bieniemy, was officially booked into custody at the Loudoun County Adult Detention Center. So, the crucial point we need to understand here is that Elijah Bieniemy was arrested right at the scene, and he's currently being held without bond. According to the official police reports, he is facing exactly 3 severe felony charges tied to this tragedy. Let's break down exactly what those 3 charges are. Elijah has been charged with malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and the discharge of a firearm inside a dwelling. Obviously, these are incredibly serious charges, and they really reflect the sheer severity of what went down inside that family home. Now, what's really crucial here is the clarity we got directly from law enforcement. Sheriff Mike Chapman actually held a media briefing, and he stated the mother had called in the shooting and it was involving the son. It's apparently a domestic issue, so there's no threat to the community. Knowing that Mia Bieniemy herself placed that 911 call after being shot, man, that is just a chilling detail. But it did allow the authorities to confirm right away that this was strictly an isolated family tragedy and not some sort of ongoing public threat. Section 2, arrest and team response. Chiefs support EB. Let's pivot and look at how the organization and head coach Andy Reid are navigating this awful news right in the middle of training camp. Coach Reid addressed the media on Monday, and this quote really hits the nail on the head when it comes to the empathy of this organization. He said, "She's a saint. We all know that. Mia is stable, which is a plus. The most important thing is that EB has an opportunity to spend some time and take care of that business." You know, Eric Bieniemy was actually right there with the team in Missouri when this happened, but he immediately left to be with his wife. Hearing that Mia is in stable condition is hands down the most important takeaway here, and the team is giving EB an indefinite leave of absence to fully support his family. But as you know, the reality of the NFL is that the machine just keeps moving. With Coach Bieniemy away indefinitely, the Chiefs had to make an immediate logistical pivot. Coach Reid confirmed that pass-game coordinator Joe Bleymaier and offensive line coach Andy Heck are going to step up and assume the interim offensive coordinator duties. They absolutely need someone calling the plays and keeping things structured in St. Joe, making sure the team's prep doesn't miss a single beat while EB focuses 100% on his family. Section 3, Mahomes and injury updates. Training camp news. While the team rallies around their coordinator off the field, preparations for the 2026 season are pushing forward on the field. So let's dive into the actual football updates coming out of these absolutely blistering 100-degree practice sessions. Taking a look at the health status of key players as camp kicks off, it is a massive relief for Chiefs Kingdom to see Patrick Mahomes and wide receiver Rashee Rice 100% cleared for full participation. Remember, Mahomes had been held out of 11-on-11s during OTAs, and Rice's status was this huge lingering question mark after his off-field legal issues and surgery. On the flip side, though, defensive tackle Omar Norman-Lott is starting out on the PUP list as he's working through a slower-than-hoped recovery from that November ACL tear. And undrafted rookie tight end John Michael Gillenberg is also landing on the PUP list with a knee sprain. Let's zoom in on Mahomes for a second. not only is he fully participating, but reporters out there are noting a massive chunk of his reps, we're talking 3, 5, and 7-step dropbacks, are actually happening from under center. This is super fascinating. Like, is this a real schematic shift for Kansas City? Honestly, it makes a ton of sense when you look at the team's rushing success last year, the fact that Mahomes is continuing to protect that knee, and the elite interior blocking they get from Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Mahomes himself even told the media he felt he ran a little too much last season, which totally hints at a more structured pocket play and play-action-heavy approach this year. So for you watching at home, expect to see a much heavier downhill run game designed to set up those huge, deep shots. Meanwhile, as we saw on the injury table, John Michael Gillenberg's knee sprain is keeping him on the sidelines. Now, at first glance, you might think, okay, an undrafted rookie tight end missing a few days, not a big deal. But because the veterans hadn't fully reported yet, his absence created this immediate massive ripple effect for the rest of the tight end room. Section 4, Training Camp Standouts. Rookies step up. Let's see exactly how the remaining players are making the absolute most of their early reps. Because Gillenborg went down and veterans like Travis Kelce hadn't arrived in camp yet, second-year tight end Trey Watson found himself as literally the only available tight end for these early practices. And what did he do with that? He capitalized, big time. Watson reportedly took nearly 80 reps, grinding it out with the first, second, and third-team offenses. The guy was everywhere. He even managed to get some one-on-one instruction time directly with Andy Reid. Let me tell you, this is exactly how bubble players fight their way onto a 53-man roster, by turning someone else's absence into an undeniable showcase of their own work ethic and conditioning. And that intense work ethic? It's largely being driven by the standard that was set early on. Rookie receiver Cyrus Allen put it pretty bluntly. He said, "Coach EB is definitely pounding us every day. This ain't college no more, this is big boy ball." See, before Eric Bieniemy had to leave for Virginia, his presence was heavily felt out there, enforcing strict accountability. I mean, he was even making sure players had their shirts tucked in. It shows you exactly why Kansas City brought him back in the first place, to reinstill this rigid sense of discipline that some folks felt the offense really lacked last season. Well, that discipline is definitely showing up on the defensive side of the ball, too, specifically with the undrafted free agents. Xavier Nguenka has been turning heads left and right, baiting throws, logging multiple pass breakups, and he even picked off Justin Fields. Dave Tubb has already highlighted the kid for special teams. Deshaun Singleton also flashed some incredible ball skills with a deep pass interception during 7-on-7s. And Jaden Kennedy, he's getting tons of praise for his high physicality over at nickel corner. These young guys are stepping up in a really major way. Which brings us to our ultimate question for today's explainer. With Eric Bieniemy away indefinitely dealing with just an unimaginable family tragedy, can these young standouts, and really the team as a whole, maintain the elite level of discipline he demanded? The standard has definitely been set, but can this team channel the emotional weight of this past weekend into the absolute flawless execution required for a three-peat? Let us know your thoughts, and for sure, keep a close eye on St. Joe.